Hey guys, welcome back to the third part in our three-part Shoegaze beat tutorial series. This episode is going to be the one focusing on how to use a sample to make a shoegaze trap-inspired track. Unlike our previous other two segments, this is not going to be a rock beat. We're not going to be using rock drums. We're going to be using trap drums. Um, I'm in my new location. I moved into the basement as opposed to working up in the office. So hopefully some better scenery. We got the lights and all that. And yeah, let's get into it. So to start, we have this sample provided to us by 2K6. He's another producer on here, and he makes a lot of the shoegaze samples that I've used on other beats. It's a quick sample. It was about 26 bars when I first got it, but I cut it down to 8. But we'll listen to the sample, and then we'll listen to the cut version. And then here's the 8-bar loop that I was able to cut it down to make it easier to work with and easier to build a beat around. So now that I've showed you guys the sample, I want to get into the general idea and inspiration behind this track. I didn't want to just make another rock song like the other two have been, because I realize a lot of people that are watching these videos are probably looking and coming at it from a trap production perspective. So I went in a different direction with this, and I made a beat with a shoegaze sample as opposed to a shoegaze song using a shoegaze sample. And I think it worked better given the sample that I was given as well. So yeah, we're gonna go into teaching you guys what exactly I did for that. So yeah, we're gonna start with the pad. Pads are really important for this ambient shoegaze style that I was going for. So I just took a normal preset in Expand. I believe it's called Oceanic, and here's what it sounds like. Yeah, the pad gives it a lot of added depth, which you'll see later in the beat. The next thing that I did for this beat was I did this little melody up top. I added this counter melody. And I added one last counter melody that follows the previous counter melody. Both of the counter melodies were made in this amazing free VST called Surge. I'm not super good at fiddling with it, so it was just a preset, but the one that you just heard was Banter, and the previous one was Crisp Noise Brass. It's really good synthesizer for leads. Leads are what I use it for specifically. I also use it in a lot of the Witch House production I do. It's all around, it's a great VST, and it's free, and you can pick it up just by searching up Surge. I'm not sponsored by them. I just figured I'd throw that in there because it is different than the VSTs I usually use. before we get into the drums, I do want to speak a little bit more about the inspiration for this track. I think that, not chiptune, but I think that some more video game-y sounding synths sound really good with shoegaze samples personally, so I like to pair the two a lot. I also like to have a lot of saws sometimes when I do it. So these melodies come together with the backing track really well, and with the effects that I've put on. Combined with the drums, it gets you into this. It almost felt like a rage beat a little bit when I was working on it, but the final product isn't. You just basically got to pull from the influences that you like and what you're looking for in music to make something your own. So it's more fair to probably call this a shoegaze influenced beat than a shoegaze beat. But yeah, now I'm gonna play you guys the chorus, all of which has all of the melodies that we've worked on together at the same time. As you can hear, it obviously sounds really empty without drums, but yeah, the drums really help with this production, given how ambient and spaced out the melodies are. And the two together, they end up creating this really unique sound, I think, that I hope that I can teach you guys how to make when we go through the drums. For the hats, for the chorus hats, I did this really simple, like, just roll pattern. And then for the verses, I have just a very simple, oh geez, what are they called? Eighth notes hat pattern. For the snare, I have this relatively simple snare pattern. It's just your generic trap snare pattern. For the kicks, I just have another pretty generic trap kick pattern that just kind of leaves room for the snares to hit. And then for the 808s, I used a pretty punchy, long 808. I think I got it from a Suicide Boys replication kit. But yeah, so they fit in with the beat pretty well. They're pretty spacey. I'll let you guys hear them. One trick I want to share with you guys is there's one of the ways you can end up cutting an 808. If it goes into the verse where you don't want your 808s, you can just set your snap to none, and then put a very small note up here, and then turn it all the way down. So if you have your 808s to cut, whenever another 808 hits, it'll just silent it. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it. That's the way I've always done it, and that's the way that works for me. So, and here are all of the drums together. Yeah, the key to these is relatively simple drums that fit in with your spacey melodies, and it creates a really good just vibe. I think it's a very vibey beat, and it really encapsulates the essence of shoegaze as well, because a lot of it bleeds together and just creates a sort of wall of sound that your vocals can sit on. Now, usually I spend some time talking about effects, but as you can see here, the majority of the effects that all of the melodies have are reverb, which is very important. Aside from cutting frequencies that you don't like, the most important thing for these types of beats is reverb. What I use is this preset called Large Hall, and then I cut a little bit of the lows usually. So yeah, that helps all the sounds bleed together, and that helps everything fit where it's supposed to fit, as long as you're making sure you mix and level correctly. And if you guys want, I can make a separate tutorial on how I do that. But yeah, that's honestly pretty much everything that I can think of that you would need to do to make a beat like this. So I'm going to play the beat, and I appreciate you guys clicking on this video and continuing to support my channel. And I hope you enjoyed this this 3-part series. There's going to be more to come. I think I'm going to work on some cemetery type beats. I'll probably teach you guys how to do drag remixes. Just a lot of stuff that I'm interested in that I don't see a whole lot of stuff on YouTube about, so that'll be cool. If we could get this video to 20 likes, that would be really great, and it would help me understand that you guys are enjoying this content I'm putting out. So yeah, until next time, and I hope you guys enjoy the beat.